Vacuum decay, the collapse of the false vacuum. Vacuum decay, or false vacuum collapse, is a physical phenomenon capable of destroying every atom in the universe. In this terrifying scenario, somewhere in the cosmos, a tiny bubble could appear, a region where the laws of physics are fundamentally different from those outside it. This bubble would expand at the speed of light, eventually consuming the entire universe. Galaxies would disintegrate, atoms would lose their structure, and particle interactions would change on a fundamental level. Whatever form the universe takes afterward, it would certainly become uninhabitable for human life. Scientists have long theorized about false vacuum decay, but the real question is whether they might accidentally trigger it while experimenting with vacuum states in quantum fields. Asteroid impact. An asteroid impact involving a body more than 1 kilometer in diameter would inevitably cause a global catastrophe. If the radius of the falling body were about 10 kilometers, roughly the thickness of the Earth's crust, it would mean the end of civilization. The good news is that scientists are tracking large asteroids, and government programs exist to alter the course of potentially hazardous ones. However, nothing prevents a mid-size asteroid from suddenly striking a city of several million people and wiping it off the map. Strangelet a strangelet, or strange matter droplet, is a hypothetical object composed of strange quarks, either bound within baryons or forming a single undivided lump of quark matter. Such objects have never been observed, but they remain both fascinating and potentially deadly. Strangelets are unlike any known form of matter. Unlike atoms, they could originate in the dense cores of neutron stars. Their danger lies in their possible ability to convert normal matter into strange matter upon contact. If such a chain reaction began, it would spread instantaneously, turning the entire Earth into strange matter and annihilating humanity along with it. Technological singularity. A hypothetical point in the future when technological progress becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, leading to radical changes in human civilization. The concept was popularized by science fiction writer Vernor Vinge, who predicted that the technological singularity would mark the end of the human era. Once artificial superintelligence surpasses human intelligence, it could rapidly improve itself beyond comprehension. Scientists and public figures such as Stephen Hawking and Elon Musk have expressed concern that a true AI superintelligence could lead to the extinction of humanity as a biological species. Technological stagnation. According to this theory, technological progress may eventually halt as humanity exhausts the possibilities of innovation. We tend to believe that constant economic and technological growth is natural. But in the context of tens of thousands of years of human history, the past few centuries are an anomaly. Warning signs are already visible. Science appears to be slowing down, and the speed of human transportation, which once surged during the age of aviation and automobiles, has plateaued for decades. If this continues, no new technological breakthroughs may ever occur. Humanity could fail to leave its home planet, struggle to maintain its population and current standard of living, and collapse under ecological and resource crises. New diseases might surpass modern medicine's capabilities, global conflicts for resources could erupt, and climate change could render Earth uninhabitable. Genetic engineering. Genetic engineering, or gene manipulation, is the set of methods for obtaining recombinant RNA and DNA, extracting genes, modifying them, and inserting them into other organisms. Unlike traditional breeding, which indirectly alters genotypes, genetic engineering allows direct intervention at the molecular level. Applied to humans, it could potentially cure inherited diseases. However, knowing human nature, it is easy to imagine these technologies being used for harm, creating enhanced viruses, or even a new type of genetically engineered human that replaces natural humanity. There is also the risk that scientists could accidentally create a living organism with no natural competitors, which might overtake the biosphere and destroy its balance, leading to mass extinction, including our own. Heat death of the universe, proposed by Rudolf Clausius. This hypothesis suggests that over time, the universe will eventually reach a state of thermodynamic equilibrium, the so-called heat death. As expansion continues, temperature differences will diminish, energy will spread out, and entropy will reach its maximum. At that point, no physical processes capable of supporting life will remain. Fortunately, if this happens at all, it will be in such an unimaginably distant future that humanity will have long since ceased to exist. Dark forest theory. A concept introduced by Chinese author Liu Cixin in his science fiction trilogy, The Three-Body Problem. It proposes that cosmic civilizations have a strategic interest in remaining silent and hidden from one another. The universe, he suggests, is like a dark forest where every civilization is a hunter, silent and cautious, fearing that revealing its position could invite annihilation. If the theory is correct, any attempt by Earth to send interstellar signals could be fatal. A more advanced and hostile civilization might destroy us before we ever make contact. Supervolcanoes. A supervolcano is one whose eruption can cause global climate change. Earth has about 20 known supervolcanoes, with major eruptions occurring roughly every 100,000 years. The last one erupted 27,000 years ago in New Zealand, forming Lake Taupo. The Toba eruption 73,000 years ago released about 3 billion tons of sulfur dioxide, triggering a volcanic winter that lasted around 6 years. Scientists believe that after that event, only about 10,000 humans remained alive on Earth. Cosmic strings, hypothetical one-dimensional defects in space-time, formed during the early universe as fundamental forces separated. If such a string were to pass through our galaxy, it could cause massive gravitational distortions, potentially tearing the Earth apart or ejecting it from orbit entirely. Antibiotic crisis. Antibiotics were discovered in the 1920s and revolutionized medicine, but microorganisms have learned to adapt. The uncontrolled use of antibiotics accelerates the evolution of resistant strains. Studies show an increasing number of bacteria are becoming immune even to the strongest drugs. In some countries, infections already exist that cannot be treated by any known antibiotic. In the future, a simple scratch could once again become deadly. Climate change. Climate change refers to the long-term alteration of temperature and weather patterns, primarily due to human activity, burning fossil fuels and releasing greenhouse gases. Rising temperatures lead to droughts, wildfires, and deadly heat waves. If unchecked, climate change could make Earth uninhabitable for humans in the future. Nuclear war, a potential large-scale military conflict involving nuclear weapons. False alarms and early warning systems have already brought the world to the brink of catastrophe more than once. A full-scale exchange involving tens of thousands of warheads would trigger a nuclear winter, destroy the biosphere, and kill up to 80% of humanity. Gamma-ray burst. A gamma-ray burst is a powerful cosmic explosion caused by the collapse of massive stars or the merging of neutron stars. If one occurred close enough to Earth, it could destroy the ozone layer and trigger mass extinction. Transhumanism and gray goo. Transhumanism is the philosophy of enhancing human beings through technology. If this process spins out of control, humanity might vanish not through death, but through transformation, becoming something post-human. The gray goo scenario envisions self-replicating nanorobots consuming all matter on Earth, reducing it to a lifeless cloud of microscopic machines. Not a rebellion of robots, but a catastrophic manufacturing failure.